Vinicius to Manchester United. Done deal? City already have Pep's replacement. Name is absolute madness. PSG snatching Rashford and paying more than Barca. Bernardo Silva has chosen his new club. Where's Bernie off to? We're covering all that and more in today's video. Guys, let's try and hit 350 thumbs up on this one. Your support helps us make even better content for you. Let's get right into the latest transfer gossip. PSG have rocked up with 50 million euros for Marcus Rashford, and they want to absolutely rinse Barcelona, who only have a 35 mil buy option. According to Fichajes, Luis Enrique has told the suits straight, "Get him at any cost. He's my guy." The Spaniard sees Marcus as the perfect winger for his system and is ready to stretch those flanks till they're screaming for mercy. 6 months ago, everyone was burying Rashford. Falling out with Ruben Amorim, stinking the place out, that weird loan to Aston Villa in the second half of last season, looked like the lad was finished at the top level. Came back to United in the summer, got told loud and clear, "Cheers to Ra." Barcelona moved quick, took him on loan with a 35 million option. Right now that looks the steal of the century. 17 games, 6 goals, 9 assists. From Old Trafford flop to Hansi Flick's absolute savior. Barca's attack crippled by injuries. Rashford, hold my pint. He's proper fallen in love with Barcelona. The life, the football, everything's glowing, wants to stay forever. But as always, it comes down to the readies. Financial fair play is still hanging over Barcelona like the bloody guillotine. To keep Marcus permanently, they'd need him to take a proper wage cut. Plus, Lewandowski's off in the summer, contract's up, and replacing Robert is going to cost an absolute fortune. Basically, 35 million is tasty, but they might not be able to stump it up. Then PSG roll in. Alright then, here's 50. That's bang on his current transfer market value. It's sitting at 40 right now, and 15 mil more than the Catalans have. For Manchester United, who are skint and need Amorim to build a new side, that extra 15 million is like winning the lottery. They'll cash that Qatari check quicker than you can say oil money. Rashford wants to stay at Barca, that's obvious. But if the Catalans can't afford it, the PSG project looks seriously tasty. Luis Enrique, mega wages, no salary cap issues, and proper superstar status. Bottom line, Barcelona are walking on very thin ice right now. Either Marcus takes a big pay cut himself or come summer he's off to Paris. PSG mean business. They're not waiting for Barcelona to get their act together. 50 million is on the table already. Summer's going to be red hot. Love for Catalonia versus Qatari petrodollars? I'm backing the oil money. Sorry, Marcus. Vinicius Jr. is properly starting to eyeball the exit door at Real Madrid. While the Madrid suits are desperately trying to talk him into staying, Manchester United have already quietly tapped up his agents and whispered, "Mate, if it all goes tits up, we've got Old Trafford, proper rain, but you'll be loved like our own here." According to Caught Offside, the Red Devils have already made contact with the unhappy Brazilians camp. Bottom line, United can smell blood. And they were dead right too. The main beef, as you've probably clocked, is between Vini and Xabi Alonso. On top of that, a few dressing room alphas have been giving him the cold shoulder since the summer. You know how it goes, miss one pass and suddenly you're on the outside. And Vinicius is proper fiery, he's not the type to just swallow it when he's being pushed down the pecking order. Real are obviously trying to keep hold of the lad. Contract runs until 2027. Financially, they've got him by the balls tighter than I'm clinging to the dream that Garnacho will one day stop blasting it into Rosie. But in football, like in life, money doesn't fix everything. Sometimes you need to feel like the main man, not third wheel behind Mbappé. Some sources say Vini wants a massive pay rise to stay. Others immediately shoot that down and say, nah, it's not about the wages at all, it's the role and the relationship with the manager. And you know what? I believe the second lot. Because you can sort the money in 5 minutes, but you can't shove that sense of being the big dog back into a lad once it's gone. United are playing this surprisingly smart for once. First time in years, they're not just sitting on their arse waiting for someone to fall into their lap for 20 mil, they're getting in position early. Ruben Amorim is building his side, and Vinicius is exactly the kind of player who could single-handedly drag United's attack back to "we're scaring Europe again" levels. Of course, we all know dragging Vinicius out of Real is borderline impossible, but right now, there's a proper whiff of unrest in Madrid, and that's exactly the little window you try to crawl through. Quick pause, smash a like or a dislike. Whatever you're feeling, every bit of interaction genuinely helps the channel. Cheers, lads. If Real decide there's no point keeping an unhappy Vinicius, Summer 2026, they'll seriously consider cashing in. And United want to be first in the queue. For now, Madrid's priority is extending him. That's their official line, and they'll stick to it till the death. But if the next 6 months with Xabi Alonso stay frosty, if Vini keeps feeling like he doesn't belong, everything can flip in a heartbeat. It all boils down to how utterly fed up Vinicius is with playing second fiddle in Madrid. And from the latest signals, he's properly had enough. Bernardo Silva has just said out loud what we all knew anyway. This season at Manchester City is his last ever. Contract runs until summer 2026, and after that it's cheers Pep, loved it, but I'm off. Instantly, Juventus and Milan come crashing through the door. Calciomercato say contact is already made with his camp. They're not just sniffing, they're in Jorge Mendes's WhatsApp going, how much? When? What terms? Saudi Arabia. Straight in the bin. Bernardo didn't even waste a breath. Cheers, lads, but I'm not ready to play golf on Mondays and buy pet tigers just yet. He's 31, absolutely peaking, the best technician in Europe after De Bruyne, and on some days even better. He can play 8, 10, right wing, inverted right back, stick him in goal if you're desperate, he'd still look class. The man isn't a player, he's a whole fucking system on his own. Now the funniest bit, money. At City he's on 10 million euros net, roughly 200,000 a week after tax. To go to Serie A, he'd have to go on a serious diet and drop to 6 million net at best, probably less. Last summer, only De Bruyne at 34 and Modric at 39 accepted that kind of pay cut. Bernardo at 31 looks at it and thinks, jog on mate. And he's bang right. Juventus under Spalletti in midfield right now is a nuclear bloody wasteland. Bernardo would be a signing for them. He'd be the club's salvation. One pass from him turns their boring possession into actual football. Milan aren't far behind, they need a proper big-name baller who knows what winning feels like. Both clubs are ready to hand him the keys to the whole project, the armband, the number 10, and kiss the ground he walks on. But it all comes down to one thing. Is Bernardo Silva prepared to go from filthy rich to just normally rich for the sake of living the good life in Italy? Proper tactics, passion, chess on grass? He's literally said it himself in interviews 100 times. Serie A is my love, tactics, intelligence, passion, defending as an art form. So he's not just open to it, he actually wants it. Summer 2026, Bernardo Silva, free agent. It'll be the loudest, fattest, most ridiculous bargain of the decade. Either he goes to Italy or he just picks PSG, Barca, or Bayern and laughs in all our faces. Ederson is back on United's radar, and this time it's proper serious. Knees-knocking serious. Trivela have dropped an absolute belter. Come January, the Red Devils are ready to go full hunting mode again for that 26-year-old Brazilian beast from Atalanta, and the deal feels scarily realistic. In the summer, they were literally one step away, personal terms done and dusted, everything agreed, but Atalanta grabbed him by the throat at the last second and said, nah, he's staying. Now the picture's completely different. Contract runs until 2027, which means Bergamo are willing to let their leader go for just 30-40 million euros. Hear that? 30 to 40 million. That's daylight robbery in January, when 6 months ago they wanted 60, 75, and before that, even 80. Ederson is exactly the destroyer Amorim has been dreaming about. Monster in the tackle, engine that never runs out, classy on the ball, reads the game like it's written in Comic Sans. Total all-rounder, proper 6, box-to-box 8, can even play higher if needed. Everything about him screams Premier League, daddy's here. 2 superpowers. First, he's an absolute tank who bombs up and down for 90 minutes and still has fuel in the tank. Second, ice-cold mentality, knows exactly what he wants. No whining, no drama, just maximum every single day. Right now, United are in pole position. Yeah, there's interest from elsewhere, but the Reds are clear favorites. Talks will restart very soon, and if the club don't bottle it, for 40 million, they'll get a midfielder who locks down the middle for years and won't get bullied by the Premier League intensity. Bottom line, if United finally want to stop suffering in that pivot and bring in a lad who will graft like a madman, Ederson is hands down the #1 option on the planet right now. At that price, it's not a transfer, it's a straight-up heist. This could easily be the tastiest deal of the entire January window. Manchester City's long-term plan has always been crystal clear, but now that Pep Guardiola's future silhouette is slowly taking shape, that painfully familiar face pops up again, team talk, citing sources literally inside the club, Vincent Kompany is still the #1 and only genuine candidate to take over when Pep finally decides to call it a day. And these reports drop exactly when the rumors about Guardiola walking away at the end of this season have once again gone absolutely mental. Yet pretty much everyone inside the club is convinced the Catalan will see out his current deal until 2027. For City, this is an absolutely crucial succession moment. Kompany is forging himself at Bayern right now, and back in Manchester, they're absolutely buzzing with how fast he's progressing. His playing model slots into City's post-Pep DNA like it was custom-made. What he's doing in Germany hasn't gone unnoticed. Yes, there was that 1-3 against Arsenal. So what? The big picture is pure class. City are glued to every big game he has, loving the style, and they're completely satisfied with his development. Vinny's rise has been lightning quick. Took Burnley up, got them promoted, then straight to Bayern, won the Bundesliga in his first season, and this year 10 wins, 1 draw, 6 points clear, still unbeaten in the league. Plenty of people thought Bayern had lost the plot taking that punt. Now it looks like a stroke of genius. Obviously, Bayern tied him down to 2029 sharpish, which complicates things right now, but inside City, they're rock solid certain. When the moment comes, he physically won't be able to say no to coming home to the Etihad. By the way, Pep personally recommended Vincent to Bayern before they appointed him. Total respect for the tactical brain and the leadership. Timing is delicate, of course. If Pep suddenly walks before 2027, City will have to go full turbo. Right now, Kompany is 100% focused on Bayern where the pressure is off the scale. But in Manchester, they know the pull of coming home is still burning strong. Succession at City can't be random. You need someone who gets not just the tactical blueprint, but the whole cultural fabric Pep has woven over years. There aren't many of them about. Kompany is unique, connection with the fans is insane, authority in the dressing room is rock solid, tactical vision is razor sharp. He was literally forged for this handover. Bayern see him as their long-term leader. Fair enough. But City keep quietly admiring from afar and already rubbing their hands. His return will send shockwaves through every corner of the club, dressing room to stands. And by the way, I've got my own Ghost Legends too. Lads who watch every video from the first second, write essays in the comments, but somehow never hit subscribe. You're like the Etihad's phantoms. Everyone feels you. No one sees you. Come on then, materialize. My favorite ghosts. Smash that subscribe button before I start the exorcism in the next video. Vincent Kompany was never just a great captain. He was the beating heart of an entire City era. We're watching Bayern transform under his hand, marching through the league unbeaten. And it only proves one thing. He's long been ready for a club that has to be the best every single week. Pep leaving will hurt like hell, that's inevitable. But everyone knows one day he will go, and the club simply cannot afford to drop off after him. Kompany is the direct continuation of the same values: total ball domination, positional bravery, relentless attacking consistency, and winner's mentality drilled right into the bone. This isn't just a managerial change. It's passing the torch from one legendary captain to another.